student here at U of H Clear Lake, and I'm also a mother. And for a long time I've been uninsured. And recently I was diagnosed with epilepsy. And for a long time, like I said, I wasn't insured, and I didn't make enough to afford private insurance, but I also made too much to qualify for Medicaid. And so I've been home because of my disability, but I know when I go back to work, there's a good chance that I could lose my Medicaid because the maximum income for it is only $200. And so I would like to know what you can do to help people in the gap that I'm in.
Kaylee, thank you for sharing your story so that we all understand what's going on. Sometimes when I say, Medicaid expansion would bring $10 billion in and it would do this and that, I get lost in the numbers and the statistics, and you bring it home to what it means to us in our lives. Cynthia and I were block walking in Temple, Texas, not too long ago, and we met a mother of 4. One of her sons pretty significantly disabled, and she also takes care of her disabled brother, and her mom lives at the house as well. And that was a full van that they were all getting into when they were on their way to the zoo. And this mom shared a similar story. She said, I'm doing really well at my job. In fact, they just offered me a promotion, but I'm going to turn it down. Because if I take the promotion, it comes with a pay increase, and I'll no longer be eligible for Medicaid for my kids and my family that so desperately needs it. But I won't be earning enough to afford Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act or private insurance. And so I'm going to stay right where I am. And I saw that as another cost of our governor's unwillingness to bring down Medicaid expansion in the state of Texas. Not only would she be out the health care that she needs, but she's not going to be able to move up in life, rise to her full potential, fulfill her promise as she should be able to. The answer to your question, of course, is Medicaid expansion to begin with. Now, let me address the political challenge to that. You may think, well, certainly you, Beto, as a Democrat would want to expand Medicaid, but what about all those Republicans? That community where I met that young mother is represented by a Republican. These rural counties where 27 hospitals have closed down over the last decade, all represented by Republicans. As great as Medicaid expansion will be for Brazoria and Harris and El Paso, where I'm from, it's going to be absolutely terrific for these Republican represented communities. Again, I want to work with Ron and Alma to listen to their Republican colleagues who I think are there. I think they're there. What we're lacking is leadership to bring them to the table and say, listen, what about Medicaid expansion and the federal government paying 90 cents on the dollar of keeping your hospital open do you not like? How can we make this better for you? Because I want to get this done. I think that's where we start. We pass that, but I just want to make clear that does not finish the job in the state of Texas. When you are 50th in the nation for access to mental health care providers, when your largest inpatient psychiatric facility is the Harris County Jail in downtown Houston, Texas, when you are treating people with schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and clinical depression so badly that they get arrested on purpose to be taken to jail because that might be the one place that they can get some care, then you also have to make other investments from our state resources. And the gentleman, Tim, a while ago said, well, where are we going to get all this money? I described the billions that are there in the 9th largest economy on the planet. That's Texas. It's not for lack of resources that we don't help you right now. It is for lack of political will. But I guarantee you that will exists here in this hall tonight. We just have to get after it, go knock on those doors, and win this election. Thank you for asking.